Imagine this. You've been walking for days, your feet are sore, your throat is dry. You've just escaped a lifetime of slavery, a lifetime of suffering. You thought you were free. But now, you look ahead, and all you see is a vast, endless sea. There's no bridge. There are no boats. There's nowhere to go. Then, you hear it. A low rumble in the distance. The ground begins to tremble. You turn around, and your heart sinks. A cloud of dust on the horizon, growing larger by the second. It's them, the chariots of Pharaoh. The very army you just escaped is now thundering towards you, intent on dragging you back or destroying you completely. They were trapped. The sea in front of them, the mightiest army in the world behind them. Fear, cold and sharp, gripped the hearts of the people. They looked at their children, their wives, their husbands. Was this the end? Was this the price of their brief taste of freedom? Cries of despair rose from the crowd, a symphony of panic. "Why did you bring us out here to die?" One man shouted at Moses. Another woman wept, clutching her baby. It would have been better to serve the Egyptians than to die in this wilderness. The accusations flew, each one a stone thrown at the man who had led them here. All around Moses, chaos erupted. The wind began to howl, whipping sand into their faces, and the sea grew restless, its waves crashing against the shore with a terrifying force. There was no escape. It was a perfect trap. But amidst the storm of fear and the crashing waves, one man stood calm. Moses. His face was weathered by the sun and etched with the lines of a long, hard life, but his eyes held a fire, a deep and unwavering resolve. He wasn't looking at the approaching army. He wasn't listening to the panicked cries of his people. His gaze was fixed on the horizon, on the tumultuous sea, as if seeing something no one else could. He gripped the simple wooden staff in his hand, his knuckles white. A subtle, warm, golden light seemed to emanate from him, a small island of peace in a sea of terror. Because Moses knew something they didn't. He knew that their situation looked impossible. He knew there was no bridge. He knew there were no boats. But he also knew that faith does not depend on what we see. Faith is the certainty of things we hope for, the evidence of things not yet seen. He was trusting in a power far greater than Pharaoh's army, a power far mightier than the raging sea. Moses turned to the terrified crowd. His voice, strong and clear, cut through the wind and the weeping. "Do not be afraid," he declared. "Stand firm and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." The people fell silent, their eyes wide with a mixture of disbelief and a desperate, flickering hope. Could it be true? Could there really be a way out? They watched as Moses turned back toward the sea. He slowly, deliberately, raised his shepherd's staff high above his head. As his arm reached its full height, the wind suddenly intensified to a gale. The sky, which had been a clear blue just moments before, darkened as if night had fallen in an instant. Ominous storm clouds gathered directly overhead, swirling in a violent vortex. Lightning flashed, illuminating the terrified faces of the Israelites and the gleaming armor of the fast-approaching Egyptian chariots. The sea roared, its waves swelling into mountains of water that crashed and churned with incredible fury. It felt as if the very foundations of the world were shaking. And then, the impossible happened. With a sound like a thunderclap that echoed across the water, the sea began to move. Not forward, but apart. In epic, breathtaking slow motion, the Great Red Sea began to split right down the middle. Two massive, towering walls of water rose up on either side, held back by an unseen hand. The water within these walls was not dark and murky, but glowed with a soft, ethereal light, revealing fish and sea creatures swimming calmly, as if in a giant aquarium. And between these two liquid walls, a path appeared. Dry land. Where moments ago there had been a churning sea, there was now a wide, sandy road stretching all the way to the other side. When faith rises, the impossible moves. God was making a way where there was no way. A stunned silence fell over the people. They stared, mouths agape, at the miracle before them. Moses, his staff still held high, turned and gave them a simple nod. That was all it took. Hesitantly at first, and then with growing confidence, the Israelites began to move. They walked down onto the seabed, their feet touching the dry ground. Families held hands, their faces filled with awe. Children pointed and laughed in wonder at the giant fish swimming peacefully beside them, separated by only a thin, shimmering wall of water. They were walking on the bottom of the sea. They were walking through a miracle. Moses led the way, his calm presence a beacon of reassurance for the entire nation. In the distance, the Egyptian army, momentarily stunned by the spectacle, spurred their horses and charged, entering the path behind them, determined not to lose their prize. The crossing took all night, a long, surreal journey between walls of water, under a dark, stormy sky. But as the last Israelite, a young mother carrying her sleeping child, stepped onto the far shore, the first light of dawn broke over the horizon. They had made it. They were safe. On the other side, Moses, seeing his people secure, calmly lowered his staff. The moment the wood touched the ground, the miracle ended. With a deafening roar, the towering walls of water collapsed. The sea crashed back together with unimaginable force, a churning, violent vortex that instantly engulfed the entire path. The chariots, the horses, and the mighty army of Pharaoh were swallowed by the waves in an instant. The shouts of the soldiers were silenced by the power of the ocean. As the sea settled, the storm clouds parted. Warm, golden sunlight streamed down, bathing the shore in light. The Israelites, safe and sound, watched in stunned silence before breaking into cheers of joy and songs of praise.